is happening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Smack with Tana, where I am joined to my right, your left, by 2-0 MMA fighter out of Mid City MMA, Will Owner. Thank you for joining us, Will. And sports mental performance coach, Eric, how do you say the last name again? I'm going to mess it up. Manuel, okay. And we are joined by Eric as well, thank you. He is also the mindset coach for Mid City MMA, but also offers individual services as well. So we will let you know how to get in contact with him for individual services. So let's get right into it, guys, the nitty gritty. You guys have been knowing each other for, 10 plus years now. I seen a post today.
20 plus.
20 plus?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So where'd y'all meet at and where are y'all from?
All right. You want to tell it or I'll tell it? I'll tell it. All right. So he moved to Connecticut when he was like 4, in kindergarten, and we were in the same kindergarten class. And so that was cool. That's when we met. And also, his dad would brought in a king cake from Mardi Gras, just do like an occasion thing for kindergarten kids.
Way out there in Connecticut, he was bringing king cakes in?
Yeah, well, just
What?
So I'm born in Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we moved up there, we tried to bring some Louisiana culture. Mardi Gras. My dad did the Cajun night before Christmas. That kind of stuff. So we were bringing it in. And yeah, Will and I were in the same kindergarten class, and so we've known each other since we were 5 years old.
I got the baby.
You did.
So when did the wrestling start? You guys both have a background in wrestling, correct?
Yeah.
How old were y'all and where and when did the wrestling journey begin?
Yeah, so for me, really young, 6 or 7 years old, I started wrestling. My dad grew up wrestling, so he kind of got my brother and I into it. And so really just growing up as a young kid, it was just me, my dad, and my brother, and my mom going to tournaments and doing that kind of thing. And we didn't have a wrestling team in our high school. And then the three of us actually got the team started, along with Will and some other people who are our age. And when we were freshmen, we got the team started at our high school. So that's when Will started wrestling. I had the experience as a kid, and then we started the program our freshman year, and by the time we were seniors, we were winning state.
What high school was this?
Old Saybrook High School in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. Shout out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with the high school wrestling, obviously it's translated so much into your MMA, but how much, if you could put a description on how much it's helped with the sport?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's everything. At least as far as my base goes. That's just what I want to get to. I'm comfortable with it. I've been doing it forever. But, you got to have the other stuff, too. You can't just wrestle. So,
You guys with the wrestling backgrounds are the hardest people to deal with because once you learn that striking, you don't know where the fight's going to go. That's the beautiful thing about wrestling is you dictate where it goes.
yeah, it gets you, it can get you out of trouble, too.
Yeah. So you coach right now at Jesuit High School, correct?
Yeah.
So what's the plans for Jesuit's next wrestling season?
State champs.
State champs?
Oh, yeah. We were close.
Do you work
Never.
with Jesuit wrestling at all from the mental performance side?
Actually, yeah, this season we're going to be starting over there too. So, yeah,
Hell
hopefully we can put it all together. Get that state title this year. I know they got second last year, fifth the year before, so they're making progress, and yeah, it's going to be a good season.
I can't wait to see that because I'll tell you this, from going to, I haven't been to too many, but going to the mental performance sessions that I have gone to with you, they've impacted me not just from MMA, from a life standpoint. And I know that's something that you talk about at the sessions is take this with you, through your schooling, through your work, through your life, your relationship, outside of the gym with people. So I just want to tell you that it honestly helped me and benefited me a lot. So thank you for that. And I can't wait to see the progress it's going to be for these high school kids because a lot of high school kids don't even have wrestling programs. And I think that's a big issue, especially on the West Bank. I don't think West Bank has one wrestling program besides Shaw, correct?
Got a couple. But, yeah, not many.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not, the sport does need to grow.
I think that needs to be fixed. I think there needs to be some way that wrestling could be implemented into public schools on the West Bank and well, let me not say West Bank, let me say Jefferson Parish.
So there's some stuff coming up. One of the coaches at Mid City is the wrestling coach at Mid City. Nick Shields is working on some stuff that should be coming out.
He did talk about that. I think he said he
So-
wants to set up an academy
Yeah,
or something
and I
like
don't
that.
want to
Right,
botch
put it out
what
there.
it is, or what it is. But something like that is coming because there is a lot of potential, and it's such a great sport for everyone, especially kids who aren't big enough to, do their football dreams or the basketball dreams. Like, well, look, we got a sport for you that all you have to do is work hard. You can go to school and do it, So it's another out, and it's just another outlet, and there's too many good things about the sport. It's just like jiu-jitsu. Any real martial art, it's the same thing. You learn a lot, and it helps just with discipline and confidence and being able to say, all right, I can actually get some stuff done and go out in the world and do stuff. A lot of people don't have that structure, and they don't have any confidence because, I don't know what to do, and it's just stuff. So it helps. Wrestling, martial arts, anything is great for that.
My school had a wrestling program for probably all of a month, and nobody went, and there was like stupid stories of just like kids getting in fights in there, and I went to Higgins, so not the best school in the West Bank, probably, not the best school in Jefferson Parish at all. So I definitely want to see more wrestling programs animated and implemented. And since we talked about martial arts, how do you guys think martial arts has impacted your life in a beneficial way, positive way?
Well, wrestling for me it changed everything. I did some judo because my friend Dalton, I love you if you're out there watching. He did
The
judo.
camera's that way, by the way. You're looking here.
So Dalton was like, we were in middle school, and this kid was just like good at everything he does. He's like my best friend, and he went and started judo and was just like, and he took second in nationals, it's youth nationals, but still we were like, oh my god, judo's so sweet. And then we tried wrestling, we were like, oh my god, I'm getting double legged by everybody. And so anyway, that's how I got into wrestling, and I was really bad at wrestling when I started. We started the program our freshman year, and so we didn't have a feeder program or any experience or lineup enough to even have a varsity and a backup. You know what I mean? It was all right, go get him. So
we were freshmen and we were automatically varsity because there was nobody else.
Yeah. So I just got thrown to the wolves.
Excuse my ignorance on this whole thing, because like I said, we didn't have a wrestling program. There is JV and varsity in wrestling?
How that works is you wrestle for the spot, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrestle off.
Yeah.
So no politics. You go and play football, and you get the parents complaining because why didn't you start my son? And it's tough to decide who's the starter and who's the backup. In wrestling, it's not tough. You have them wrestle each other, and you figure out who's better.
Wow.
It's very simple.
So y'all didn't even get to do the wrestle off though, because like you said,
No.
there just wasn't enough people. Connecticut, where y'all from? Small town?
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Old Saybrook.
Old Saybrook.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look this place up. I want to see
dude,
just
it's
how
the
small of a
best.
town it is.
Oh, man. All of it's a good place. Love it.
About 10,000 people year round.
Oh, that is really small. One
Like,
high school?
500 kids in our high school. 100
Sheesh.
kids in our grade, and we were all in the same grade from kindergarten to 12th grade, all the same kids.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So what about you, Eric? How do you feel martial arts has positively impacted your life?
Yeah. The same kind of stuff as well. As long as we're including wrestling as a martial art.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, it's it's taught me almost everything I know. I've wrestled for the majority of my life, until I was 18, and yeah, it teaches you a lot. And I think those individual sports, for me, I always gravitated towards them because I didn't like other people getting the credit, for my victory, and other people getting blamed for my losses. I like just all the responsibility of it being one-on-one, and you just having to figure it out. You don't get to rely on your all-star quarterback or your all-star point guard. You don't have all that luxury. If you're losing, you've got to figure out how to win. You can't rely on anybody else. So I really, really like that. And then when things don't go your way, you can't point the finger and say, oh, man, I played I balled out. I'm not the reason we lost. It's no, you're the reason you lost, So I loved that aspect. And so just the one-on-one competition. And I think all martial arts really give that to you. So just the accountability and the honesty that you need to develop with yourself, I think is really important. And it taught me that. I mean, so many things: how to work hard, how to be resilient, how to win, how to lose. It took me a long time to learn how to lose. I was not good at it for a long time. But all those things, sports are such a great vehicle for learning these tools, not just wrestling and martial arts, but all sports in general.
That's one thing I love about combat sports, because I grew up playing baseball from the age of like the youngest you can get into it till I was like 12, and then I played football and basketball. Like, this is all park, don't matter. Played soccer for high school, and it's just what you said. It's a team sport. So if your goalie gives up 16 goals in a game, our goalie did it. One of my friends, that's why I always bring it up. It's an inside joke, and we love shitting on about it. So, but it's a team sport. Like, I can look at him, and then he looks at the defense, and the defense looks at the midfield. Combat sports, you're going in there by yourself. But one thing I do tell people when they say it's an individual sport, you still have a team, because you're only as good as your training partners. You're only as good as your coach. So speaking of,
Definitely can't teach yourself.
Yeah, good luck. That bag don't hit back.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. People are like, oh, I'm a trained fighter. Really?
Yeah.
On a punching bag? Okay, well, some people would like to show you different.
Yeah.
But speaking of, like, team, how do you feel the team chemistry is over at? So when did you start over at Mid City?
Mid City, it's been about a year and a half, 2 years now. Yeah.
Okay, so right during COVID, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about the team chemistry then compared to the team chemistry now?
Honestly, I feel like it's gotten a little bit better over the time. There was kind of an influx of new fighters coming from different gyms, like, around that time. And so we had a lot of experienced guys, good fighters that were coming to the team and, are now great members of the team, but they were just kind of getting their feet wet and learning the culture and learning, building all the relationships with other teammates. So that took a little bit of growing and, just forming the team with the new guys. But now it's like all systems are going. Like, it's crazy now, and everybody's all on the same page, and you're starting to see this kind of wave of fighters going from amateur to pro, and it just seems like the whole level and energy of the room has just been picked up over the last 6 months. And so, yeah, it's really exciting. The chemistry is great. Everybody gets along, and that's what you need in order to train well and to be able to push each other and trust each other. So, yeah, I think it's great. But Will would know better. He's on the front lines.
Yeah, So I've been there at Mid City for a pretty long time, and it's almost a whole new team since when I started there. And yeah, the growth has been good, and it's cool just seeing like you said, the influx of just talented guys coming here because they understand that there's a good thing going on. And I never even felt like I didn't have any trouble transitioning. So I was home for 5 months during COVID, pretty much right when those guys came. So I got back, so they'd been there for a bit, but I never felt any tension or weird vibes from anyone. Everyone they kind of came to this gym because they were the other gyms they were at. You go in, you have tension with your training partners, tension with your coaches, and they're like, dude, what are we doing? So they were shopping around, and they found the fit. So I think that made it pretty easy, and just good guys too, honestly. Shout out, we got Spencer Lemoyne, Jared Free You,
who's making his pro debut tomorrow at Fury 65, I believe is the card.
Sunday, but yes.
Oh, I said tomorrow.
It's all right. It's hard. It's hard.
Thank
it's
you.
a Sunday card. But yeah, Free Love, Jacob Biggie Small, Macy Bro. Who else?
Who on the card?
Jonathan Island.
John Island's fighting.
And Jason Asher.
All Smoke
fight.
Asher. Yes. Oh, yeah.
So they have 5 fighters from Mid City MMA. I believe 2 of which are making their pro debut, which would be Jared For You and Jacob Small. Jonathan Island has some pro fights under his belt. Macy has some pro fights under her belt, correct?
Yes.
And then Jason, this would be his second amateur fight.
Yeah.
and I think that covers everybody. It's fall 5.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I think it might be the first time that Mid City MMA is going to have 4 pro fighters out of 5 fighters. Like, that's a lot of pros now. And like what I was saying before, when I kind of first got on with the team, it was a lot of amateurs. And so now we're starting to see that wave of those guys going pro and making that next step in their career, and that's exciting, you know. Yeah. Big things are coming.
I would, you know, I know you're very humble, but I would attribute some of that to you coming in, because I really think you have, like, I started in January or February of 2020. So, like, probably right before COVID happened. Yeah. It wasn't bad chemistry back then, but it wasn't like a family like it is now. Mm-hmm. And at one point in time, I was on the inside looking in. Now I'm on the outside looking in, and it looks like a big family. You know, we're all part of it. From the jiu-jitsu to the wrestling to the striking to the people who do it for fun, the people who do it for fitness and health, and then for the people who take it, you know, very serious and compete amateur and hopes to go pro and do go pro. I feel like everybody is like a huge family now, you know. And I would say a lot of that attribute to you, especially to the MMA team, because you came in and I believe I was at the first session, and right off the bat, I knew, like, oh, this is about to be so damn good, because it was team-oriented, you know, but it was also like, hey, for this to work, you have to go home and study this and work on this yourself. Can you speak about, like, what was your schooling like, and where did you go, and how did you learn, and how did you transfer it over to MMA and, you know, what you're doing now?
Yeah, so I went to LSU for undergrad, got my bachelor's in psychology, and then after that I went over to Ireland for grad school. I got my master's in applied sport and exercise psychology. So that was about a year and a half, 2 years of doing that. And then after I graduated that, I moved to New Orleans. Will and I started living together, and that's when I found Mid City. Will actually got me that connection. He got me my first individual client, and he got me my first team client. So Will's been like my little manager over here, getting me jobs, you know.
Selfishly, though, because, you know, he was probably like, oh, this is going to help me out, help my team out big time.
No, I wasn't doing it for him. No, I just know how hard he works. And he's one of the smartest people I know. His full family, like, his dad was our wrestling coach, too. So that, going back to, quick dip off back to high school wrestling real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, absolute legend.
Run around with it. Move around.
So he, because this whole experience was everything for me as far as MMA goes, and just, like, coming in.
Shaping you, yeah.
Yeah, like, so his dad was our wrestling coach, and like he said, we started the team our freshman year, right? And I lost my first 20 wrestling matches. Like, I was just like, full Bobby Boucher, like, get picked up, freaking slammed on my head, get pinned, start crying. I'm like, okay, wow, I'm pretty bad at this. I got, you know, I didn't like losing.
Can't imagine.
All right, so I got, you know, I finally won one. That was great. Now I'll always remember that feeling. That was pretty cool. Anyway, that was a good feeling. That felt better than winning my first fight. You know, probably my second fight too. That shit was awesome.
So speaking of your 2 fights, you made your amateur debut November 13th of 2021 against Cole Wells.
Yeah.
At Empire fighting, is it championship? Is it championship? 14. Second round TKO by ground and pound. So walk us through the process of that fight, and, you know, how'd you get that finish?
So that was my first fight. So I've been training for a long time, like, just as far, like, I quit my job in 2018 to just train and to try to set my life up to do that. So I've been training for a while, and when I first started striking, it was bad. So I was like, I should probably get some hands. Oh, yeah, that's a good story, too. So anyway.
I want to say I was there when you started striking.
Well, yeah, you were. Well, Macy, Shay-san, shout out Macy, I love you. She was like, hey, like, can we get some, like, wrestling rounds? Okay. She just fucking pieced me up for, like, days. I was like, doink, doink, doink. Doink. So I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to fight at all, really. So I should probably get some hands too. I was planning on it anyway, but I was like, oh shit, like I don't know anything. You know, so I took a long time trying to develop, you know, a good striking game. And so yeah, it was my first one. 4 years of training, and so I had it scheduled for September. So I started camp mid-July, something like that. And like I'd been pretty much like doing camp, but like this was like all right, everything like doing it real right. So that fight got canceled because of the hurricane, but I stayed just like getting ready. So it turned into like a 4-month camp. So I was like, good shape, like, pretty good shape. You know, I was just ready to go. Been working with Eric. That huge.
That's what I was going to ask.
Oh my God.
How much and what did y'all do? I mean, what do you do different for someone leading up to, you know, their first time fighting? And what did y'all do and how much did it help?
Things that were helpful for me were talking about just like not being outcome oriented. Like, oh my God, what if I lose? What if this happens? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, none of that shit matters at all. Your friends are still going to love you. Your family's still going to love you. You're still going to get to train. You know, like, nothing changes. And if it does change for somebody, that's something you don't want in your life anyway. So, getting that through my... Because in wrestling, it's different, right? Because in wrestling, you're doing it for your team, and you're a kid, and you're just like, when you fuck up, you're like, oh my God, what? You know, it's just like... No, dude, it doesn't matter at all. Like, the outcome we want from doing this kind of thing is to test ourselves and put ourselves in that situation and see what comes out the other side. See what comes out from your training and have fun because, you know, not many people get to do it. And it's something you dream about, you know. It's like you watch it on TV when you're a kid. You imagine the walkout so many times, and then the visualization, that helped a lot too. That was huge. Yeah, I just had... a lot of everything was going right for me for that game.
I'm sure it was probably a little bit easier for you too, because I feel like talking to you right now and talking to you in the gym before, you have a genuine love for not just wrestling but MMA, you know, and you're not just faking it to get money or get fame or, you know, whatever. You genuinely love the sport and the aspect of competing. What really shocked me is I remember like talking to you in the sessions leading up to it and like coming in early to practice, and you were doing the ladder drills or drills on the bag, and you were just like so calm. I remember the mindset meeting. He's giving me advice about life, and I'm like, dude, you have a fight in a week. Like, quit talking to me. Like, focus. And like, you were just so calm. Eric, what's some of the things that y'all talked about and went through to get this man to that state of mind?
I think one thing that really helped him was redefining those feelings that you feel when it gets time to compete. That fight or flight response, those butterflies in your stomach, that adrenaline, all those feelings that can shrink you. You know, you can feel those things and you can let it make you small in the back before you're making the walk, like all those things, right? And anyone who's competed has felt those things. Like, they're real and they can really hold you back. But they can also enhance your performance, right? It's called fight or flight mode. That's the mode you want to be in to fight, you know? Like, it gives you adrenaline. That's what you want. You know, that's going to help you fight. This is the mode that mothers get in when they lift a car off their kid. You know, like it's ultra instinct mode. It's superhero mode. So if you see it that way, then it no longer becomes this ball and chain that's holding you back, and you're walking out and your legs feel like they're 100 pounds each, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually going to do this, you know? You get away from that feeling and you get more towards the feeling of you're getting bigger and bigger as you get to the cage, and all these feelings are going to help amplify your performance and bring out the best of you. All of that is just a shift in perspective. It's just reframing. That's all it is, but it has a massive impact, you know. And you can use reframing in so many scenarios. That's just one, and I know with Will that's helped him a lot.
Yeah, just what he's talking about is so true, because you realize, like, oh my God, you're going into fight or flight mode. You're in fight mode, and if you can harness that, you're only usually in fight or flight mode in an emergency. So you're like, flight, I'm out, right? But this, you can't.
Right. That's what you signed up for.
And also, but now I've had 4 months of just doing this, preparing for this. My body's primed for it, and I'm like freaking Super Saiyan. Like, it's cool, dude. Like, oh man, and you see everything and you hear everything, and everything's fast, but it's also slow. And, oh, dude, it's so cool. The first and second one were very different, but the first one was like, it felt like a lucid dream. So did the second one too. It's freaking crazy.
I think you're Super Saiyan right now because you literally just answered my
Dude.
next question before you answered it. Because I was gonna ask you if you got that like tunnel vision, that slow down, speed up, where your I guess it's from adrenaline too. Your senses are heightened.
Yes.
I've never had to walk to that cage, but I'll tell you what did feel like that adrenaline shock to where, like you said, fight or flight was literally jumping out of a plane for me.
Yeah, that'll do it.
As I'm sitting on the edge of that plane, we told my old lady, like, you're going first because if you see me fly out of this door,
You're gonna
you
break
might
up
not
with
go.
me.
Well, no, she might not go. And I was
Okay.
like, we paid this money, you're going.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll kick you out if I have to. So basically, her and the guy scoot to the edge of the plane. All of a sudden, you see, whoop, they're going. And I'm like, oh shit, now I might flight. Like, I might sit on this plane and be like, I ain't going.
Yeah.
So I had to fight those emotions of like, man, stop being a little wimp and jump out of this damn plane. And it's weird. And I want you to see if this matches up in correlation. I know nothing is going to compare to walking to that cage and fighting another human being. But as I'm sitting on the edge of that plane, I let everything go in my life that was worrying me. I said, not a stress, not a care, not a bill, nothing matters right now. Because this is, I'm doing it. I signed up for this. I'm jumping out of this plane whether I'm going to live or die. And, you know, is that kind of the same feeling that you had walking to that cage?
Well, so the walk, and once the announcer started and the guy said go, that's different. The walk was really, I've always wanted to do the walk because that's just like, I used to like play music too, and like I love like loudspeakers and like, you know, I love that part too. So I was really enjoying that. I rushed it a little bit, I think both times. So I'm like, all right, here I go. So, but once it starts, it's like, I mean, I wasn't thinking about anything else too. I was trying to take it all in, you know. And then once it's time to go, and it's like, I can't think about anything else right now. I have to deal with this right now. There's no other option. I can't be thinking about my girlfriend or what I'm gonna eat after, or if I'm tired. You know, it's like, doesn't matter. We got to deal with this guy. So, but it's cool because you're prepared to do it. It's like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do.
As I looked at that date for your first fight, November, I believe the smoker was in December, correct?
Yeah.
So it's like coming back to me now. I remember going to the mindset meetings with you, and you were talking me through it, and also me and you would sit there and talk about it. And like I said, super beneficial, like helped so much. I sat there for 4 or 5 hours. I watched Luke hook some guy in the face 30 times. Felt bad for the poor guy. I mean, like, Luke had one arm at the time. I think his shoulder tore or something like that, and he just
Yeah.
hooking the dude up. That probably doesn't sound good at all. That
Hooking
sounds
him up.
Fast
terrible.
hands.
Yeah, and I sat there for
Watch
like
out.
4 or 5 hours,
Watch out, he's coming.
and the nerves got. We're talking about Luke
Skywalker.
Mazur.
Mazer.
Mazer.
Like a laser.
I'm so bad with names. Me and him just talked about this Tuesday, I think.
He
I was
said
like,
Manuel
can't get
for
your
Eric
name right.
Manuel too, so it's not. It's just
I was
not-
going to say Manuel again. Is it Manuel? No, Manuel.
You got mine right though, which is awesome.
Yeah, well, Horner sounds like another word I won't, say. But
What?
Loner.
there you go. See, hey.
Yeah, dude, kind of a loner. One man wolf pack.
When you walk to that cage, you are though. I want to pull up. Well, real quick, let's talk about this second fight of yours. A third round rear naked choke over Noah. I'm gonna mess this name up too. Sorry, Noah. No
Beatty.
disrespect. Noah Beatty. At Bayou Fighting Championship 49, which this one was pretty recent, April 30th.
Yeah, that was a good one. BFC put on an awesome show. Empire also puts on an awesome show. Love fighting for Christian and Tim. The crowd in Youngsville was really good. It was fun. Anyway, what was the question? I'm sorry. The whole fight. Okay,
Yeah,
so this is what happened.
basically, yeah,
All right,
pretty
sorry.
much. You're good.
So I took it, I think, on like 5 weeks. So I was just feeling good. I was like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm good. Because I've been kind of back into it for a couple weeks anyway, like doing camp. So make weight, get there, and it wound up being an opponent change, like day of weigh-in. Well, I guess it was before the day of weigh-in, but I didn't know. So
He found out at weigh-ins.
Found out
he's
at
fighting
weigh-ins.
somebody.
They're like, hey, so like we got this guy.
and he didn't even make weight.
Yeah.
The dude that stepped up?
He had his first fight was at 45, and he was winning to like the third round, and then he wound up getting choked, I think. Same thing. So he was a big boy. He was like 5'11", and he weighed in like 140.
How much of a heads up did he get for that fight? Because if yours was
He
day
had
of the
some because he
weigh-ins.
came from Texas. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, so he had more than you then.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
I mean,
man,
he
props
was
to
he'd
you.
been in camp. Like he was in shape. I mean, he got kind of tired probably from the weight cut. Ran in the wrestling.
Crazy. This is a
It
crazy
was a
fight.
crazy space.
Yeah.
It was wild. So anyway, yeah. So like I was like, okay, well, I got this guy now, and he was like had some wrestling background too a little bit. So like my attributes versus his attributes, like he's tall, might be able to stop my wrestling, might be able to take me down, which I was like that might happen. This is all what I'm thinking. From the time I get the guy to looking him up to thinking about how I'm gonna game plan. And it was cool. I mean, I liked honestly, like working with Eric, like prepared me for all of this. And one thing too was that a month before there was a show in New Orleans where like a bunch of stuff just got like haywire. It wasn't like anyone's fault. It's just like
Yeah, it was very. I think I know what you're talking about. I
So
won't
it
say
was
what it
all,
was.
it was all the blood work stuff. It
Yes.
was the first show back in Louisiana, and there are different blood work rules, and I don't think anybody really knew about it. And so
Right.
about half the fights were getting scrapped or turned into
Changed to
kickboxing
kickbox.
amateur fights. Like
Yep.
it was nonsense. But
so like, a lot of stuff like wound up like everyone just had a bunch of adversity go through. Like, all right, I'm doing a kickboxing fight now. All right, I'm fighting after that guy. You know what I mean? So it's just like
and that's on like hours notice.
yeah.
Not even. I mean, I was already in the building in the stands.
Yeah.
They had. I mean, we was finna leave. We was like the whole card getting canceled. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then people were getting like
Crazy.
upset. It was weird.
So we just went through like it was a crazy night just as far as like Scott Gibbons, the wrestler, has like, all right, I'm fighting a kickboxing match tonight.
And
He
looked
wins it.
damn good though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, dude, he's a problem.
motherfucker.
About to go pro. Watch out for Scotch. He's coming. He's coming. And then Jason All Smoke Asher, who's fighting on Sunday on Fight Pass. Make sure you tune in. He was like, they were looking for a guy to fight Vin. This guy was like, I'll fight him. And then Vin got a different fight. And then Jason was like, I'll fight him. Just stepped up. He's only had one fight. Only been training for like a little, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. But just like went in, did his job.
Yeah,
Nice
very
dude up. And he was nice,
convincingly,
too.
very fast.
He's
He was
very
super nice
about
guy.
it, too. So that was like, they can go through that. I can go freaking deal with an opponent change. Like, I'm cool. Tall, cool. 45 are cool. Like, this is part of the thing, especially in amateur MMA. It's like I'm gonna have to deal with shit like this. Like I can't have every camp fight in camp expect to go like my first one. Where it's like I had 4 months of prep, and, you know what I mean, and like a pretty good matchup. So yeah, I had to go through some adversity in this fight. I got really tired. I didn't really do my refeed correctly after my weigh-in. I made the weight well, but I didn't rehydrate quite right. So getting that right. And
Got kicked in the face.
yeah, I got Sparta kicked in the face. That was
Front
cool.
kick?
Oh yeah.
Like full Leonidas. Like,
Hey, you ate that shit though.
Yeah.
well, so
Because that finish, you look like
He-
he's pissed off about something.
if he had snapped it, he probably would have slapped me. If he had like thrown a snap kick, but he pushed it. It's like a push kick. So he just pushed me with his foot. I'm like, he just pushed me with his foot. And then he came, and I was like, oh shit. Slipped, dropped him, took his back. He gets up, gets in my legs. I start cross facing. It was like a crazy fucking 20 seconds. But I was like,
Was this the same card? I just talked to Brad Guidry the other day. Shout out Brad. Was this the same card that they had him fight 5 rounds and he was only
No.
supposed to do 3?
No,
Not
no.
the same card?
No,
Okay,
this is
because that's a
weird.
shit show too.
yeah,
That
Yeah.
was scary.
That's the other thing too.
Yeah,
shit
that
like
shouldn't
that.
be allowed.
So, right, but it's like shit. Yeah, I don't know how I would deal with that. Well, either way, probably won't have to deal with that. That one. If I agreed to a 3-round fight and they call for round 4, I'd be like, I'm leaving.
Your ass is
Especially if
fighting.
you just dominated all
Fighting.
3 rounds, and that's what you like.
Or I'm doing flying sidekick. But
Fabrizio Verdum.
if I miss, I'm just gonna go out of the cage.
Yeah, there you go.
I missed.
I'll tell you
And
what.
then I'm gonna go get some chocolate covered pretzels.
Shout out Canes.
Last week was my
Intense.
first week back sparring probably in 2-3 months because I'm a lazy asshole. But I did 11 3-minute rounds. Was tired as hell, but felt fine enough to, like be okay. Walked in the gym just now. Justin says, "Hey Scott, you want to do 5 minutes?" Scott says, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Whew, I'm telling you, I ain't last. So I couldn't imagine being in an actual MMA fight and somebody says, "Oh yeah, buddy, you got 2 more rounds to go."
That shit was crazy.
You know.
Yeah.
No.
No. I'd be like, I'm good.
Yeah. So shout out Brad because
Shout out, Brad.
that's something I've never heard of before, and
Yeah.
I don't even know what company it was for, and we ain't gonna even talk about it. You know what I mean? We'll leave that where it's at.
Yeah.
So you offer. I'm sorry. What was you saying? Go ahead.
Then second round, he almost sent me. It's pretty funny, but like I kind of landed on top, and then Tim's like, "Oh man, what's wrestling defense? Something," and then he lat drops me, and I was like, "Nice, good
Well,
timing on that." Watched the video, but I got up, a little half guard underhook, and then between the second and third round, I was like, "Damn, I'm pretty tired." But I got a second win, like actually when the third round started. But it was funny. I remember like, they're like, "All right, it's 1-1. Like you gotta go get this round." I was like, "Cool." So I get up, I'm like, "All right, show him some good body language." Like I give him a bounce, like don't let him know you're tired. I was just like, slowing myself up. But no, he came out, open stance. He was just going open stance to throw big kicks, shift into his 2, get to his clinch. And so he threw his big kick, shifted back, closed stance, went under the 2, ran a double. And then it was funny because also the whole first and second round I was just trying to like wrestle and like ground and pound the guy. Just like being dumb, kind of. I was like, I wanted to smash. I wanted to get some ground and pound. I was trying to like get like good position and like land some shots. And then they were like, in the third round, I finally like actually started listening to the coaches, and then I passed his guard, and then I took his back, and then I choked him. And I was like, wow, I should have just done that the whole fight. That probably would have been, probably would have got that done sooner. But yeah, it was a crazy fight. It was fun.
Okay, I typed up Will Honer versus Noah Beatty. I'm getting nothing but.
Video is
John Stewart.
unshared. Let me send it to you. It's like private.
Oh man. So this must not be
we're
the
not
one I
trying to
see.
let
Hide it from the ops.
Yeah, come on, man.
It
Oh,
matters. It really matters at this stage of my career.
We're playing chess out here, you know.
Yeah, dude.
So, hey, I ain't
Trying to
gonna
hold
lie,
my-
that's pretty
I'm
smart
trying to
though.
hold my rank in the Tapology amateur rankings.
So I think the one I
What?
seen then was the fight against Cole Wells.
Yes.
Because you was on his back,
Dude,
and I mean you was
hey,
just
shout out to
throwing.
Cole. Cole, really nice dude. Like, like showed up to weigh-ins. He's like, "Hey, you made it all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Wow." They were like talking. He's like, "Oh, you're a wrestling coach." I'm like, "Yeah, blah, 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 blah." He's like, "Hey, but you're really nice." And I was like, "You're really nice." It's weird, dude.
Where was he from?
Not, he wasn't weird, but the whole, we're both fucking, he was 0-1 at that point, so we're both new to this shit. We don't know. I was my first fight. I'm not gonna fucking like mean mug this dude. He was like a kid too. He's young, but he went and he won 2 fights after going 0-2. He stuck with it, and I felt like I probably could have choked him. But I was like, I need to get some ground and pound reps, see if I can do it. And I just like,
You said he went on to win 2 fights after y'all fight.
yeah, and he looks better.
Tapology needs to get their shit together
Yeah, well,
then,
that's yeah.
because it's completely wrong right
We
here.
got some
As you see.
crazy stuff on Tapology.
Just- it-
I think one of our guys who fought like one time at 170, and he's 45 or is ranked like number 1 above Scott. It's like this whole, it's funny. It's just, it doesn't matter. The rankings don't matter. It's bullshit.
That's facts. I don't disagree with you.
Shit. But yeah, I can send it to you.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up because I'd have to download it. But one thing I do want to share is you offer individual services, correct?
That's right. Yep.
So I want to pull up Eric's website for y'all so y'all can see where to go and how to contact him. Because, and is it just strictly MMA?
No.
It's sports.
No, yeah,
correct?
any sport, any age, any skill level, all these skills transfer over, not just across sports, but like you were saying, to life in general. And that's what makes this field and this stuff so valuable, because it really is bigger than sports. We're all athletes, but that has a time limit to it. You can't be an athlete forever. And so it's important to know how to take these skills and transfer them to other areas of your life, your relationships, your job, family, stuff like that. So, yeah, it can be transferred to any sport, any skill level, any age.
If there's one thing that y'all can take from me, it is reach out to this man, figure out a schedule, figure out what it's going to cost and what you got to do, because like he just expanded on it. It is not just for MMA. It is, you can be an athlete of any sport, but also it is going to benefit you in your entire life, emotionally, mentally. You gave me some books. Sorry, go ahead.
Can I? So yeah.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
just piggybacking on what you were saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it just helps so much. There's so much going, especially with MMA. There's so much going on that you have to figure out and drill and do this. I gotta make sure I'm doing this, and it's like some people are, oh, you need a sports psychologist. You're weak-minded. It's the dumbest shit I've ever.
I can't stand that shit. I ain't gonna lie
You
to
look
you.
at any of those high-level athletes, they're all using it. But my point is, like, if you're someone like me and probably a lot of fighters who kind of like are disorganized and like, they're kind of out there a little bit, it helps you just get organized, and that goes for everything in life. Anything you want to learn, you learn it. The biggest thing, one of the best things about mindset is learning how to learn. Like that's what you do with him too, and it does translate to everything. And it's such a huge skill, and that's not even the only thing I learned. So like, yeah, if you're fighting and you're serious about it, like you need to get organized, and if you can't get organized by yourself, even if you can, why not consult with someone who has a master's degree in it and also has combat sports experience? It's just like, it's a no-brainer. So
I took a bunch of time off from the gym because, for one, I deal with anxiety and depression different ways. Obviously, we all do. But the root of it all was because, like, I had to stop going to MMA practice because I had to go work more hours because I had to pay more bills and stuff like that. And I'll tell you what brought me back recently was obviously like the friendships I had with everybody and the love of just wanting to train regardless whether I'm going to compete or not. But I was at work, ran dry on all the podcasts I was listening to because I work 50 hours a week, so I'm just running them dry. I went to my little book section, and I looked at these books, and I said, man, Eric gave me these damn books. And one of them was, can I say which ones they were?
Yeah, yeah. Which ones?
One of them was The Confidence Gap.
Yes.
Another one was The Mindful Athlete.
Yes.
I believe you recommended David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me to me.
Great book.
Oh my goodness. Like that book just makes me want to live my life. You know what I mean? Because life isn't guaranteed.
That's right.
So yeah, that's honestly what brought me back into the gym last week. I was like, man, like I'm being a little wimp, man. Like I love this shit. Let me just go train because I love it and because I love the people I'm around. So thank you for that, especially, and also me and you have had plenty of like mental health talks and stuff like that. So guys, right here is the About Me section on Eric's website, expertmindsetcoaching.com. You scroll down right here, achieve your goals. Mental skills coaching can separate you from the rest. Hell yeah, it can. We have individual sessions tab right here, one-on-one personalized mental skills coaching. And we also have team sessions. So expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, so if you are a coach or you're a president or some kind of athletic director in charge of a full team, you could bring me on and I could work with the team in a group setting, right? So not just individuals, but with the team as a whole. And so that's some of the stuff I do here at Mid City. I do the team sessions, and that stuff's so valuable. Like the individual stuff is really valuable as well, and it gives them the opportunity to kind of share a little bit more of how they're feeling, and you kind of get them to, go a little bit deeper. But the team stuff gives you the opportunity to build team chemistry and shared trust and communication and respect among your peers, and just being able to have open discussion with your teammates and being able to hear and share stories Like, I think that is one of the most valuable things for people, because a lot of people with this mental stuff, they feel like they're alone, right? And they feel like they're the only ones with these problems, right? So many fighters feel like, man, I'm the only person who gets scared. My opponent's not scared right now. Why am I scared?
Right.
In reality, your opponent's scared, and so is everybody else who's doing this. It's scary, you know? Like, let's just acknowledge it, and then you can work through it. So many people try to ignore the problem or pretend it doesn't exist. So I think team discussions are great because they allow for people to share their experiences. And if I'm hearing, you know, a pro fighter talk about some of the things that they go through, or a world champion, which we have the luxury to listen and learn from a world champion, and we get to hear some of the stuff he goes through, and it's like, wow, he goes through the same things as me, and he's able to work through it and deal with it. So why can't I? You know, so you get that kind of stuff from the team sessions, and that's really valuable. But yeah, I offer team stuff and individual stuff, and they're both really valuable in different ways.
Are these sessions in person only, or do you also communicate with people who are not in the same place as you? By what method?
Yeah, so I think in person is the best method, but I also do sessions with people in other cities, other states, via Zoom, FaceTime, things like that. I mean, it is 2022, so let's take advantage of some of this technology and help as many people as possible. If I was restricted to just in person, then
Right.
I would only be able to work with the athletes here in New Orleans, you know, which is cool, but they got a lot of athletes in the world, so I'm trying to work with as many people as I can.
I absolutely love that you are finna go, you know, give these high school kids not only an advantage on their opponents, but an advantage at life.
Yeah.
Because high school kids are going through it just like everybody else is going through it, especially in high school. Like, that's one of the worst times of your life, I feel like. It's supposed to be the best, and it's the worst.
Crazy.
There's definitely a team. I honestly had no idea that you were looking for more, for individual sessions and team sessions. There is someone I'm going to recommend to you, a good friend of mine. He was a pro soccer player who recently, like, he messed his ankle up real bad, and he just had knee surgery. But I definitely am going to recommend you to him because he is on the road to recovery, and I think talking to someone like you could really benefit him and help. And there's another soccer team also that I want to recommend you to them.
Yeah, I would love that, you know, so yeah, definitely get us connected. And like injury, that's another massive part where, you know, being able to understand the mental processes of recovering from injury and getting back onto the court or onto the field or into the cage, like, that's a big journey, and most athletes are going to get injured, you know, at some point in their career, so they're going to have to deal with that injury and recover, and that's a whole journey too. So yeah, that is a thing that, you know, having a mental performance coach to help you along that process is really helpful, because some people, they fall apart when they get injured, and they never put themselves back together, you know.
So right here, schedule a session. You can reach out to Eric at expertmindcoaching@gmail.com, correct?
Expert Mindset Coaching.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
I messed that all up. Thank you for correcting me. And then also they have a Twitter you can click on right here and a Instagram. So go ahead and do that. Reach out, and I'm telling you, you will not regret it, because I wouldn't recommend it. So.
Using promo code Tana.
Oh, we set that up. I like it. Oh, man. So go ahead and talk to me about these products right here.
These old things.
Let's go ahead and put that in the camera.
Let's have a nice look-see. All right, so right here we have Sound Organic CBD. It's an organic CBD company based out of Connecticut, run by two of my really good, smart, trusted friends who put a lot of time and effort into making affordable CBD that you can get an actual good amount of milligrams for. A lot of CBD on the market is really just super price inflated, and you know, you're getting ripped off. So go follow I think it's at Sound Organics on Instagram. Take a look at some of their products. This is a lavender salve that's really nice to just rub on. It reduces inflammation and pain, and also smells good and is good for your skin. It's a coconut oil base. Not this one actually, but they do have a coconut oil that you can use to cook as well, and that's really good. I actually got to get some more of that.
Sorry, real quick.
Yes.
Stupid question incoming. THC in that product?
No.
Oh, damn. I might need to rub some of that on my thumb. I think Luke broke it earlier.
Yeah.
There you go. Get your whole body. Get you wiggling out of here like a slug.
Hey, that'll work. I got to drive, though.
Yeah,
So what's this one right here?
All right,
What's
so this is Crescent Canna product. They also have great CBD products that are organic and USADA approved, THC free.
So approved. Wow.
USA
What was that
grown,
face?
Not sure
lab
about that
tested.
one.
I'm just I'm not shilling products. I am, but look, this one I do use both of these. This is like icy hot, but it's also infused with CBD, so it takes care of pain and inflammation and feels really good. Just don't put it near your eyes.
Yes. Wash your hands after using.
Yeah,
See, I might need this.
dude.
Icy
Get
hot
you some.
sucks.
Get you
I don't
some
like
on
it.
Crescent Cannon's website and use promo code HONER20 for 20% off.
No shit.
And that's not a joke.
Let's go. I'm
it's
going
not
to
a
do
joke.
that tonight. Seriously.
Dude,
I
go
want
get
some of
you
that.
some. It's
Because I
nice.
can't stand icy
They
hot.
also have CBD gummies and flour and THC products, but you should be 21 and in a legal state if you're going to do that.
So, real quick before we wrap this up, Eric, is there anything that you want to, shout out? We obviously talked about how to schedule a meeting with you. Anything else?
No, that's really it for me. I mean, I want to shout you out, man. And,
Thank you, man.
for the production you got going on here, and just honestly the courage of going and getting it started, because I know what it's like. I just started my own business, and it's scary, to go away from maybe something that's more stable and secure, and just go out and say, I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to do it, And so I want to shout you out and
Thank you,
this
man.
podcast, because it is scary, but you've shown the courage, and just keep going, and you can do whatever you want to do with this. So
You did great, too.
I appreciate that. I
felt like I was just having a conversation.
did you
with my
see
pal.
me shaking earlier? That's how I want it to be.
Yeah,
I
it was
want it to
awesome.
be like we're just in the house talking shit. Luke sleeping on the couch, no big deal. Like just.
Oh, dude, it was
Also, we didn't talk about this. We did, but we didn't. We're gonna try to schedule Luke for a podcast very soon. Luke is an MMA fighter and a Marine, so we're gonna definitely try to get him on a podcast soon. And many more people. But yeah, I was shaking like a stripper earlier in my hand. It was like this, and I was like, oh, because I mean, like, you two guys have helped me through so much, man. So it's like,
You helped me get ready for my first fight, man. Like, you helped me. You were just like, you did exactly what I asked you to do and helped. So, like, yeah, bro. Like,
yeah, I remember you said, we're going to sit by this cage, and I want you to blend in shots with striking. And I don't know how I was supposed to be the aggressor and end up getting my ass whooped so bad. Dude, I went home that day, and I swear I probably laid down for like 4 or 5 hours after that.
you needed some CBD roll.
See what I'm saying? Use promo code WillHoner20 for 20% off. What is it?
Honer20.
Not Will, Honer20. Okay. Damn, that sucks.
Can I show one more thing?
Go ahead. What you got?
All right. So, if you're looking to bet on the fights or any future fights, you can get a $1,000 no sweat first bet at
Damn.
sportsbook.link/FanDuel. $1,000 no sweat first bet at sportsbook.link/FanDuel. Oh yeah, there you go. Little
Sportsbook.link at FanDuel.
no.
Slash.
Sportsbook.link. No. Yes. /FanDuel.
Okay.
$1,000 no sweat first bet. You won't even sweat. There'll be no sweat on
No
you,
sweat.
your body. There might be. That's fine too.
Man, that was gangsta how you did that right there.
You like that?
You read. I might start like calling you like, hey, Will, I got this sponsorship. Because if you listen to the episode, I have one sponsorship segment through Anchor. I sound so stupid. I think like it's
That's the first time I've shilled anything.
They tell you what to, wait, what was that word?
That's chill.
Have no idea what that
Chill
means.
products.
Is that a Connecticut thing?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
It's
You
like,
hear me?
it's like being a greasy car salesman, but I'm not.
No,
I'm
not at all.
a car salesman, but I'm not selling cars.
I would buy wrestling techniques from you. I really
Hey.
would.
We can make that happen.
Yeah,
You can.
I need
You
to.
can for free.
To hear you say you was garbage at wrestling, I'm like, shit, what am I then?
I
Motherfucker.
said you were garbage.
No, you said you were.
That was
Okay.
13-year-old Will.
So,
Go on.
can I tell this story real
Go
quick?
ahead, yeah.
So yeah, I lost my first 20, 1-1, best feeling. But his dad turned us. He's the type of dude who could just get anyone to believe that they can do anything. Like
Your dad?
Yeah.
When I talked to him at the fights one time, he was like very like
He's the most
calm,
charismatic.
stern, like
Yeah. Not even. He's like.
no, in a good way though. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you respect him when he's talking, type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. He definitely has that energy. But yeah, I mean, we went from 16th place the year we started the team, our freshman year, to winning a state championship our senior year. And his dad it wasn't even like we had like crazy technique or anything. His dad just like got us to believe we're winning state. We set that goal our freshman year. We're like, we're winning state. And every year we're winning state. We went from 16th place to 5th place to 2nd place to 1st place. And like, once I started figuring out how to win and I started winning matches, like that's what you do wrestling or a sport for. To go through that shitty losing feeling, question yourself, and it's like, it's funny because you make it such a bigger deal than it is in high school, but you really feel really bad about losing. You're like, damn, I suck. Like, I'm like a bum. It's like, I can't lose in every wrestling match.
My
You
everyday
start
thoughts when I
winning,
wake up.
And you're like, oh my God, this is so good. This is finally. And then it's like, I don't know, it's really rewarding. And it's going through camp and all of this hard training and stuff. It's the same feeling. It feels so good to win, and you're so relieved after. And even just fighting, even win or lose, it just feels so good to just be in that state where, like you said, when you're skydiving, you're like, I don't have anything else to think about right now. I'm dealing with this, and it's like that's what's so cool about it, that freedom. It's like my outside life is not a thing right now. You could just, yeah, you know what I mean.
When I said just now I talked to your dad at the fights, you gave me a weird look. Was that your dad or Will's dad? I talked to one of y'all's dads at the fights.
That was my
your dad. Okay.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember the moment, and I remember.
Yeah, because I think we was at Empire, and he was sitting up at the top, and he was like, "Hey, this is my dad," and I talked to everybody. Thank you guys for y'all time. I really appreciate this. This episode will be on YouTube now. It will be released if you're watching this live or you watch the YouTube video. It will be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify for free come Wednesday, the 20. God. I ain't gonna lie, I looked
so
straight
bad
at
with-
you. I was like, you got this.
I'm so bad with
The
dates.
29th, June 29th. So thank you guys for y'all time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was
And
fun.
we
Never
will
got
get
to
out
do
of
that
here.
before, so that was cool.
No?
Don't get-
Well, we will definitely do it again.
Yes, sir.
You got a fight coming up, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Hopefully.
Oh yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Turn that music down.
Right, hold on now.
Oh my God.
Because we will get you on right after that
Fighting
fight.
for BFC. All right, can't say it.
By you fighting championship,
Fighting
Tim Creeder.
Championship, August 13th at the Pontchartrain Center. Super excited. Don't have an opponent yet, but 7 weeks out.
But you're fighting whoever wants to get it. That's where we're at.
Whoever they got. But I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. I've never got to fight at home before, so I'm gonna get all my friends from the past 5 years, even my friends who I haven't seen since I've been training. It's like finally y'all get to see where I've been.
Yeah, where I've been. Yeah.
Finally. So like my wrestlers, they've never seen me fight. They're all coming, and I'm excited. It's gonna be electric.
If one of your friends goes MIA, just know he's probably doing MMA.
Hey.
See y'all Sunday for the sports show. You about to say something? No, you
Get
sure?
with this guy. If you're an athlete,
Please.
it's just a no-brainer. Just do
Please.
it. You won't regret it.
Thank y'all again. Catch y'all on the sports show Sunday. Peace.